was yet another huge game for Vikings wide receiver Adam Thielen here against the Rams today. 6 catches, 123 yards, and a touchdown. The guy continues to deliver his 5th top 10 fantasy week of the season, including 4 out of his past 5. So, listen, we all know this. It's obvious. Adam Thielen an every week starter, but hey, the sit-start questions just need to stop. I mean, it doesn't matter who else you have on your team. The guy needs to be locked in the short and long term. He's only 27 years old. He's working the slot for Minnesota, so he's not going to have to worry about top corners most weeks. A ton to like against Detroit next week, and going forward, Adam Thielen locked and loaded as a top 10 fantasy wide receiver. Another rough outing for Packers wide receiver Jordy Nelson. Started off tremendous this season, but it's been rough over the past month or so. Of course, the key factor being no Aaron Rodgers. Brett Hundley's actually gotten the ball to Devontae Adams pretty well, and he's tried to get it to Jordy Nelson, but it hasn't worked out too well. In fact, Nelson has not had a top 30 fantasy week since week 4. So what do you do going forward? I mean, you have to really put Nelson on your bench. I mean, you can't start him right now. And actually next week, that's especially the case when they play the Pittsburgh Steelers, who have been terrific against the pass. So it's been rough for Nelson. Yes. Do you keep him on your bench? I think so, just in case Aaron Rodgers comes back. If you're competitive, you may need him week 15, 16, 17 in that range. But for now, you definitely should not have Jordy Nelson in your fantasy lineups.
What can you tell us, Adam?
Well, it's amazing. As the Ezekiel Elliott investigation closes and as he withdraws his appeal, now the NFL is going to turn its focus to Jameis Winston in this particular case. And we know that this occurred that March night, and earlier today, Eagles cornerback Ronald Darby released a statement saying that he was in the car that night with Jameis Winston, and he felt the need to come forward and clarify the accounts from that night when he was in the car. He said the 3 of us were there, not just one of us, as has been reported. Myself and Jameis were in the back seat. I'm confident nothing inappropriate in nature happened in the car that evening, and Jameis did not have any physical contact with the Uber driver. The accusations are just not true. So Ronald Darby coming to the defense of Jameis Winston. Stop me when you've heard this one before, because basically when Jameis Winston was accused of sexual assault, Ronald Darby was in the apartment that night and came to Jameis's defense back then as well. Now, once again, he is defending his former college teammate. And the NFL already has launched its investigation. Lisa Friel, who is in charge of the Ezekiel Elliott investigation, has begun to assemble her team, and this is going to be more time and resources. We'll see what the NFL can come up with, but the league just found out about it this week. It did not notify the union, which I guess it's required to do, and has not as of this morning. So, again, the NFL is going to go into the investigation business to see what it comes up with on another one of its young stars.